From all five generators powered and all four killers still alive, granted one on hook, to an insane comeback and 4K against these four toxic survivors. How'd I do it? Well, stick around and find out. Here we go. So here we go. The four perks I brought were Crowd Control, Surge, Bamboozle, and the unknown perk on the right, which allows me to, every time I vault a window, I get a little bit of haste for about 10 seconds. So this build was like more of like a chase build to make it easier for me around windows and stuff like that. So here's the first survivor, as you can see, using their flashlight. Barely miss that hit there, but using their flashlight to gain my attention. So I lead that chase because that particular loop is not great against Nemesis, so I instead go against this Elodie. This loop is a little bit more favorable because the tile is longer. She messes up, so I get the first hit there. Um, if you don't know what crowd control does, basically every time a survivor vaults a window, vaults it, like you see right here, it blocks it for I think 10 seconds. And then here comes Unbound, that's what it's called, into use with this haste. And that's going to allow me to get this down coming up in a second. Um, and then Bamboozle, whenever I vault a window, it blocks the window. And I also vault it a little faster. So all these perks work off each other very well. Surge is just there for the gen pressure. Elodie doesn't drop this pallet, so that allows me to get her down. She'll go into that locker, but ultimately she will go down and she'll be our first hook. One gen down. Not the greatest start. So at this point, two gens have popped with only one hook. So I'm in not a very favorable spot. If you guys have ever played Killer, normally at this point, you'd want to have at least a few hooks. I'm going to hit my zombie here just to get my power to tier 2. Pretend to go to this tile, push the survivor to this favorable tile against Nemesis. You're about to see we're at this tile for quite a while, but eventually I do get the down here for the second hook. But it does take a while, so she does a good job at distracting me here while her teammates cleanse and get the unhook. But yeah, ultimately, like I said, I do get the down here, but it does take a while. So here comes. She makes a mistake at this pallet. One thing these survivors that I notice that they don't like to drop pallets. They will do anything not to drop pallets for the most part. So she finally does there and it messes her up. So yeah. So there goes the second hook. So I'm gonna go ahead, kick this gen. Don't have any gen kicking perks, but want to try to put some pressure on them because I've been putting none so far. I notice this girl here. Break this breakable wall just in case I ever chase in there. She elects to go to this loop here, which is a good idea. This loop is not very good as Nemesis. I recognize that, so I punch her. She takes me to this loop. Great dodge here. Um, this is still a very doable loop for Nemesis. There's a lot of long walls and windows where I could hit over. So he runs away. Good idea. I get my haste from the perk on the right. And honestly, that perk right there might have given me enough speed to get the down there. So that was actually some value right there. Pretty nice. Here comes the flashlights again. It always seems to be the Laura with the flashlights. That's fine. Kill this zombie. Almost at tier 3. Um, you're also going to notice that these survivors, they like to cleanse a lot, which is a good idea, definitely. Uh, I think I get a hit on her here, a tentacle strike hit. Yep, so that gets me to tier 3. Gen pops in the background, so we're at 1 gen with only 3 hooks. So, again, not the greatest spot. Uh, Normal punch on her here. She flashlights for some reason. I think she forgets that I can just break the pallet with my power. And so she's in a pretty bad spot here. And pretty easy down there. with the tentacle. So that'll be my fourth hook, and that's also only one hook on every single survivor. So not a very good pace. You typically want to, at this, especially at this point with one gen, you either want to have a survivor out at this point, or at least like two hooks on two survivors. One hook on every survivor is not good because no one's dead on hook. So you really don't have sufficient pressure to really mount anything, usually. But we'll see that's not the case for this game. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to go for the girl that I just unhooked, or that was just unhooked. Try to get a big down here. Probably shouldn't have swung at the pallet there. So that was a good play by her. Just missed that one. Maybe not the greatest place to do the tentacle strike. She'll drop the pallet here. Good play by her. Um, and yeah, so I just follow her. All right, so I ultimately decide not to chase her anymore. You can see the flashlight in the corner. Really wants me to chase her. But instead, I elect to put some more pressure on these gens. Go ahead and kick this one. I saw the lady run towards the shack, so I start to chase her. Also, in the meantime, checking this generator, which doesn't have much progress. Uh, so I decided, fuck it, I'll chase Zarina. Almost get a hit there. Aim was a little off. Very close, though. But I'm pretty confident in my ability to at least get a hit here. So now that she fast vaulted that window is going to be blocked. Or now it is. Um, so now she can't vault it. And she has to go for the pallet, which I don't think she drops. Nope. So I get a hit on her here. She goes back into shack. Window is still blocked, so she goes for the pallet. So the shack pallet's down. That's something very essential to remember. I like not to chase for her anymore, and instead I go for this Elodie, who's near the gen. She messes up here, so that's a big normal attack there. She vaults that, so now that window will be blocked. And I think up here she'll drop the pallet, and then she also tries to blind me. Again, a survivor forgetting that Nemesis can easily just break the pallet with her power, and she'll go down here. And so this is where you'll see a little bit of the tide sort of shift. Surge reaches that gen right next to us. So hook Elodie, that's her second hook. Go to kick this generator. I notice that there's a lady right behind the car. It's Laura. Nice sprint burst play from her right there. Unfortunately, I miss. Um, so Elodie is on hook. The other two survivors right now, they're on the gen in the far corner, way across the map. Uh, and so I get the hit there, and here we are. Right back where the video started. No gens, four survivors, one hook. Let's see how this turns out. So I have haste from the right perk, and that allows me to get the down on Laura, which, by the way, I've only hooked once. So here's a nifty little play. I decide, since Elodie, I realize that Elodie is very close from dying. Her hook timer is extremely close to the end. So in order to guarantee that that she dies, I put Laura right under the hook, so I can both defend Laura and I can defend the person on hook. And ultimately that works. The person that was nearby was unable to come and unhook her, and Elodie is sacrificed. I get a hit here on Nia. She runs away, and then here I decide to slug Laura because first off, I already carried her for a bit, so I didn't want her to struggle off, and that would be a huge momentum change for me. And also, the hook is broken, so I can't put her there. So the momentum is all on me. The pressure is all on them. They try to distract me by killing one of my zombies over there. That obviously is not going to work. But at this point, I'm not sure what they're doing. They don't heal, which is a giant mistake. They should both heal all the way here. They don't. Another thing, Laura is crawling to a very bad spot on the map. She has no clue what she's doing. And then here, I don't know what happens. A little lag. It might have been on my side, might have been on their side, not sure. But that definitely also helps me. Uh, Use my power on her there. So I have one survivor here, and then another survivor over there. So, and Laura's right in the middle. So Laura probably should have gone to like a pallet or something where it would have made it much easier for the survivors. Huge play there to get the down. So now it's just up to Zarina. Will she come clutch? Will she get this pallet stun? Will she get her teammates up? Let's see. And the answer is no. From all gens completed and everyone alive for like 2 minutes ago to a 4K, just like that. And there's no unbreakables. Laura clearly doesn't have an unbreakable. You'll see in a second that I pick up uh, Laura, or sorry, who was it? The other survivor. I picked her up right here, Nia. She doesn't have it. So yeah, that's game. And I think the biggest mistake by the survivors was both of them sticking on that gen in the corner. What they should have done is had one survivor stay on that gen and complete it, and then another survivor come for the rescue and done an exchange or something like that. Especially because none of them are dead on hook. So I think that is the strategy they should have gone for, but unfortunately it didn't work out for them. That's not what they thought of. And I got the big dub. Uh, Thanks in part to some clutch plays, some smart thinking. And honestly, my perk combo coming in pretty clutch, especially crowd control and uh, the unknown perk. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy that game. I thought it was really, really, really fun comeback. Let me know what you guys think down below.